Hello everyone, welcome to back my channel. I hope everyone is having a wonderful day. Before starting the video, please go ahead and hit the subscribe button and give this video a thumbs up. Jade Cargill has been off WWE TV since suffering a mysterious backstage attack in November last year. Following months of speculation, WWE finally provided a major insight into the situation. Last night on SmackDown, Nick Aldis showed unseen video footage from the fateful night in which Liv Morgan and Raquel Rodriguez were spotted around that scene. Since then, the WWE Universe has been abuzz, speculating that the Judgment Day members were the ones who attacked the Storm. However, that may not be the case, as a massive twist could be on the horizon. In a shocking turn of events, Cargill could return to SmackDown in the coming weeks and reveal Naomi to be the actual mastermind behind the entire situation. Ever since the tragic incident occurred, the Glow has been quite vocal, vehemently protesting her innocence. The 37-year-old has been putting in relentless efforts to convince everyone that she was not the one who attacked Jade Cargill. This week on SmackDown, when the video footage showed Liv and Raquel, Naomi's actions looked quite suspicious. For a fleeting moment, both of her hands were spotted resting on her head as if she took a sign of relief. The Glow's involuntary gesture seemingly suggested she found an escape route to get rid of all the allegations. There is a good possibility that Jade Cargill could enter the fray and expose the truth, as she is the only one who is seemingly aware of the attacker's real identity. It will be quite interesting to see how the storyline shapes up in the coming weeks. Is Naomi actually the mastermind who orchestrated the assault, or is there a different side to this story? Only time will tell. The Jade Cargill situation has been getting quite interesting lately on SmackDown. Not only Naomi but Bianca Belair is also on the list of suspects who ambushed the former AEW star. Interestingly, both superstars will be in the same ring at Elimination Chamber 2025. The EST and the Glow will compete in the Women's Chamber match. Given this, there are high chances that Cargill could make a thunderous comeback at the upcoming PLE in Toronto. In the middle of the match, the 32-year-old could storm into the steel structure, unleashing a brutal assault on her potential attacker. This could not only give rise to a jaw-dropping twist, but could also become the biggest highlight of the night. However, this may only happen if either Bianca Belair or Naomi is involved in the incident or associated with the situation in any capacity. It will be quite fascinating to see what WWE has in store and whether Jade Cargill shows up at Elimination Chamber. In the world of professional wrestling, shocking betrayals, unexpected alliances, and high-profile attacks are as common as body slams and finishers. But sometimes the true motivations behind these moments are more layered than they first appear. Jade Cargill, one of the brightest and most dominant forces in the wrestling industry today, was recently involved in a controversial attack that turned heads, confused fans, and raised many eyebrows. While many believed that Liv Morgan and Raquel Rodriguez were responsible for an ambush on Cargill, the reality was much different. In an exclusive interview, Cargill herself opens up about the truth behind the attack, revealing a popular star who, to everyone's surprise, was the real mastermind behind the shocking moment. The attack, a breakdown of the moment. It all started one fateful night in a packed arena, the energy electric as fans chanted and roared. Jade Cargill, the powerhouse, had just defended her title in a brutal match, and was walking back to the locker room with the sense of triumph that only a champion could feel. It seemed like any other night, until the unthinkable happened. As Cargill made her way down the ramp, Liv Morgan and Raquel Rodriguez, two of WWE's brightest young stars, emerged from the shadows, their eyes locked on the champion. The crowd erupted, thinking this was just another typical moment of women's division drama. But then, the unexpected occurred. Instead of just a simple confrontation or trash talk, Liv and Raquel launched a full-on attack on Cargill. The fans were left in shock as the two women pummeled the TBS champion, leaving her sprawled out in the middle of the ring. What made this moment even more shocking was the subsequent segment where it appeared Cargill was left defenseless, with no one to help her. However, as the days passed and the wrestling world began to dissect what had happened, fans and insiders started noticing inconsistencies. The way the attack unfolded, the timing, and the manner in which Cargill was caught off guard all seemed odd. Something didn't add up. Cargill speaks out, the truth revealed. In an exclusive sit-down interview, Jade Cargill finally broke her silence and revealed the truth. To everyone's shock, it wasn't Liv Morgan and Raquel Rodriguez who had orchestrated the attack on her. Instead, Cargill pointed the finger at someone who had been on a collision course with her for months, but had always kept a low profile: Charlotte Flair. "It wasn't them, I know what you're thinking, but let me make this clear," Cargill began, her voice steady but filled with intensity. "Liv and Raquel were in the right place at the right time, but it wasn't them who ambushed me that night, it was Charlotte. She's been playing the long game, and I've been too focused on my own journey to see it, but now I know the truth. She's the one who attacked me, she's the one who's been trying to sabotage my momentum, and I'm done being silent about it." For months, there had been speculation about the tension between Charlotte Flair and Jade Cargill. Flair, widely regarded as one of the most accomplished women in WWE history, had kept a distance from Cargill. Many assumed it was just a matter of respect between two top-tier women in the division, but according to Cargill, there was much more beneath the surface. "Charlotte's always been a shadow in my life. She's been watching me rise, and every time I take a step forward, she's there, quietly moving behind the scenes, trying to pull me back," Cargill revealed. "I thought she respected me, but now I know she's threatened by me, and that attack, that was just the beginning." The rivalry, from mutual respect to bitter enemies. Jade Cargill's rise to prominence in AEW was nothing short of meteoric. Her athleticism, charisma, and dominating presence quickly made her one of the most talked-about names in wrestling. But it wasn't just her in-ring ability that garnered attention, it was her sheer confidence. Cargill wasn't just the future of the business, she was the present. And as her star continued to rise, so did the whispers about the other women in WWE who were taking notice. Charlotte Flair, a 13-time women's champion, has long been the face of WWE's women's division. Her accomplishments are unparalleled, but the rise of Cargill in AEW and her undeniable presence in the wrestling world raised questions. The comparison was inevitable. Flair had dominated WWE, but Cargill was now doing the same in AEW. In many ways, it seemed like a rivalry that could be a natural match in the future. But the undercurrent of competition and jealousy had been brewing for far longer than most had realized. "There's no doubt that Charlotte is one of the greatest to ever do it, but she knows what I bring to the table," Cargill explained. "She knows that I'm the future, and I think she feels threatened by that. She doesn't want someone like me coming in and taking the spotlight. She's always had the spotlight, but not anymore. I'm here now." Despite the tension, fans had always believed that any confrontation between the two would happen inside the squared circle. But now, Cargill's revelation has changed everything. Charlotte Flair wasn't just waiting for the right moment to face her rival in the ring, she had already been making moves behind the scenes to destroy Cargill's momentum. The behind-the-scenes manipulation. As Cargill explained, the attack on her wasn't an isolated incident. It was part of a much larger scheme orchestrated by Flair herself. "I remember the little things now, the way she would look at me from across the locker room, the subtle comments that seemed harmless at first, but now it all makes sense," Cargill shared. "Charlotte played the long game. She knew that Liv and Raquel had a personal beef with me, so she used that. She knew if she could manipulate them into taking me down, it would take the heat off of her, but I see through her now." Cargill isn't the only one to notice the manipulation. In the weeks following the attack, other women in the locker room began to question the motivations behind the assault. Liv Morgan and Raquel Rodriguez, who were initially seen as the culprits, also started to express their confusion about the entire situation. They hadn't realized they were being used as pawns in Flair's larger plan. "I spoke to Liv and Raquel after it all happened. They didn't know what they were getting into," Cargill said. "They were just as confused as I was. Charlotte knew exactly what she was doing, and they fell right into it." The consequences: a rivalry that's far from over. The revelation that Charlotte Flair was behind the attack on Jade Cargill has sent shockwaves through the wrestling world. Fans are now left wondering what this means for the future of both women. Will Cargill and Flair finally clash in the ring, or will the animosity between them play out in a much different way? "This isn't over, not by a long shot," Cargill declared. "Charlotte may have thought she could get away with it, but I'm coming for her. I'm not just going to sit back and let her play games. The only game that matters is the one inside that ring, and when we meet, it's going to be a war." For now, fans are eagerly awaiting the inevitable showdown between Cargill and Flair. The question remains, when will they finally face off, and who will come out on top? In the world of professional wrestling, one thing is certain: the battle between Jade Cargill and Charlotte Flair is far from over. And with each passing week, the stakes only grow higher. A new era of women's wrestling. Jade Cargill's revelation marks the beginning of a new era in women's wrestling. It's no longer just about the physical battles in the ring, it's about the psychological warfare and manipulation that often goes unnoticed. The women's division is more competitive than ever, and the alliances and rivalries are more complex than fans ever imagined. Cargill's rise has not only reshaped the landscape of AEW, but has now extended its reach into WWE. With her newfound understanding of the business, the manipulation, and the games that some are willing to play, Cargill is no longer just a dominant force in AEW. She's a force to be reckoned with on the global stage, and her rivalry with Charlotte Flair could be one of the most iconic in wrestling history. The wrestling world is about to witness something truly unforgettable. And Jade Cargill has just made it clear that she's not backing down from any fight, whether it's in the ring or outside of it. Thanks for watching this video, and please subscribe our WWE official YouTube channel for more update news.